What's a black man's life worth in America? Not even a penny. It's a green light on the black male. Another tragic incident, this time in South Carolina. But don't get it twisted. There's been several of these incidents that's happened in 2015 already. And this one just got caught on tape. And I don't know what's worse, the crime of murder or the cover-up. As many have already seen in South Carolina, the police officer shot a black male running, unarmed, 8 times in the back. Now, it was a traffic stop. I didn't know that a traffic stop meant you could die. And I didn't know that if a man ran, that would mean he deserved to get shot. So the confusion of what actually policing is, what actually the laws, and what rights do we have as citizens, I think that it needs to be cleared up. Because clearly, from what we see, from the eye view, there's a green light. It's a go to murder black males. We can't even talk about it being police brutality anymore. Police brutality, you can live to talk about your incident. Be Rodney King. These are people, black men dying, unarmed black men getting murdered. And there's always that excuse. So let's think about it. Is it the crime or is it the cover-up? In the video, thank God there's a video, because this would be an exact Mike Brown situation. And I guarantee you this is exactly how the Mike Brown situation played out. But we don't have the video. And of course, Ferguson, or the people in Ferguson who are on the jury, they screwed that up. And as we know, that whole system over there is corrupt, like many systems in America. But we won't talk about that. We'll focus right here. You have the officer dropping a taser, saying that he was in fear of his life. The go-to line. Doesn't that sound familiar? He was in fear of his life. Darren Wilson and every other police officer that murders and needs the excuse of why he murdered. So, little did the police officer know, some good citizen was recording the whole incident. And in that video, he drops a taser right by the dead body. That right there is proof and evidence. The story he made up is a lie. And now you'll have the police apologists trying to figure out and saying there's more to the story. No, the bottom line is murdered. The bottom line is that we have another out of control, power hungry police officer that looked at another black man as a piece of meat, not worth a penny, and said, your life ain't worth shit. So like a coward, he shot this man 8 times in the back. There is no denying that this system is built off racism and fear of the black male. You can't argue this. With the Mike Brown situation, you could argue because there was no proof. You can say this, you can say that. But I dare any cop supporter or any irrational American to try to make sense out of this. And unfortunately, I've had already seen a few people's opinions saying that there's more to the story. No, the story is, as this cop was out of control, he must have ate a bad donut. He got up in the morning and said, I want to kill me a black man. And don't even get it twisted to think just because the South Carolina police station, who charged him with murder, who's fired him from the police force, is doing the right thing because they know in their heart that this officer was wrong. It is just a tactic to confuse us, because what they are saying is like, you son of a gun, there's a video. We can't save you. We got to give you to the people. There's no choice. You lied, and it shows you dropping a taser. He didn't have a taser on him. So don't believe the hype that the South Carolina Police Department are learning from their mistakes of other police officers, and they're doing the right thing. They're bringing this man into justice. No. They just don't want another Ferguson. Because there's no denying this. You go ahead and sit there and say that he's not charged for murder. You go ahead and sit there and say you support him. You don't fire him. South Carolina burns down. Ferguson happening all over again. New York happening all over again. LA happening all over again. All of these entities across the country, police officers, all stick by a code. This particular time, there's no way you can stand by a code when all of the evidence is right there. And is that what it really takes? Does it really honestly take all of the evidence? And with the Eric Gardner case, we don't even know, even without the police support, if this man is going to be charged and prosecuted in a proper way in court. Because all it does, what, you got 12 jury members? All it does is take one jury member to say, it was self-defense. I don't know where you see it, but that's all it takes, one. There's a green light. It's a green light on the black male. We are the target. For whatever reason, there's a big fear. We can't continue to work on into the stereotypes that may be out there. There is an absolute lack of respect for the black male that pays his tax dollars to support the police to protect and serve. And what we are getting for our efforts, we are getting murdered. We are being lynched. This is the 1950s and 1960s all over again. This is lynching and murder at its best. And the reason why the cops do it, because every single cop believes they can get away with it. People say there's good cops. Show me one. I want to see those good cops come out and denounce their fellow officer for the murders that they commit. We have had cops in Florida being indicted for plotting to kill 340 some inmates in a Florida prison, and finding out also they're a part of the white supremacy Nazi crew. We have had police officers in San Francisco texting racist messages. We have the Ferguson police officer, the whole department, should I say, the whole department being put out there in front of the world to show us that there was a lot of racial profiling and there was a lot of racism in that department, including disrespectful remarks that they said about our own president and first lady. All these things, besides all of the other racist things that have been happening in this country in the last few years, you cannot tell me that there's not a green light. You cannot tell me that there's equality. You cannot tell me that we're equal. You can't tell me that the police are our friends. I don't know what happened and what a person goes through or thinks to feel like anybody deserves to get murdered when you look at so many different incidents of how people have been able to get a fair trial, guilty or not, they were able to make it to trial, and these unarmed black men don't even make it to say goodbye to their family. This is the America we live in 2015. I have to talk to my black males and I say to them, be careful. Fear for your life. I don't even want to say run from the police, because now if you run from the police, you get shot in the back. And you better pray that someone's recording it, or they will say they reached for my gun. If all these incidents don't wake us up on what we have to do to change a system that has been broken, has been corrupt from the beginning, that's never had a relationship with the black male or the black community overall, I don't know what to say. But I will say that eventually it will come down to something that I would hate to see, but it's inevitable. All out chaos. This is what it's coming to. Because we know the unions protect police officers, and we know there's high officials that protect police officers, and we know there's special interest groups that protect police officers. We know this for being a fact. It's a manufactured system that's built in institutional racism and is developed by getting profits off of the black males that they arrest. We have solidarity in fighting what we call police terror, but in a true fight against police terror, we need police. Those police officers that say they're not the bad ones to step up, step out, and speak against police terror. It's no longer police brutality. It's police terror. It's police murder. That is a way things can change. Or South Carolina is around the corner. And what state will be next? Will it be me? Will it be another one of my comrades? Will it be one of the students that I mentor? Who will be next? That's the saddest thing. When you have to walk the streets feeling that the people that are supposed to protect and serve you want to kill you because of the color of your skin. Think about that, people. It's nothing more that they see you as an unworthy dog that doesn't deserve to live your life. That's how serious it is. That's how real it is. They don't have any respect for us, but they ask to get respect. They say they want unity in the community. They want us to rebuild what is broken, but yet no police officer will stand by us, the people who want justice. They'll make excuses on what they feel and believe the people should do better. So I ask you this: what should Walter Scott have done better? What should he have done better? What should Walter Scott have done better? And what will you say to Walter Scott's kids? I always hear police officers always saying, we want to get home. Well, Mr. Officer, we want to get home. We want to get home to our kids.